Okay, we are here to introduce a ColorTrack. ColorTrack is a software is able to track the quality, track the information about the ink correction, and send the right information and the right correction to the press, near to the press, to correct the color and the ink. Okay, let's start with the workflow of our solution. Our solution is starting with the ColorTrack Job Setup. Is a first software we are in our portfolio, and the ColorTrack Job Setup is able to take any input from the market. We can input the digital file, we can input the CXF file, we can measuring from the Pantone book, or we can measuring directly from a drawdown, or measuring directly from the product example or the previous job our customers provide to us. Inside to the quality manager office, normally the quality manager, they create the job, they fix the aim of the color, and they fix the whole tolerance of the color. What is a unique feature for our software? When the quality manager is finished to create the job, they just save the job, and the job is immediately accessible for the in-kitchen, for the whole press, and every people, they can have all information they need for starting his job. Let's move in the in-kitchen. When inside to the in-kitchen, we have the next software in our portfolio is the ColorTrack, and ColorTrack only have the ability to search inside to the recipe database, found the best match, save time to build a new recipe. Technically, we're using the one ink formulation software to build the right recipe, and when in the ink kitchen we are ready with the right color, we just need to ship the ink near to the press, and the press operator, they can open the same job file near to the press. Near to the press, we have the first configuration is the ColorTrack with ink control, and the reason why we put the ink control near to the press, because we want to control not only the color but also the ink on the press, and provide in the fastest ways as possible and in the correct ways as possible the correction on the ink. Our precise solution is working with the handheld device like X-ray device. We have 939, Spectro I, Exact, and in addition of the ColorTrack Precise, we have our inline solution. Our inline solution using our software, color measurement software, in connection with a spectral cam or with a new delta cam. When we are ready to start the job on the press, we just starting the press, we collect the first sample, we measuring the first sample, and what we provide as a feedback to our press operator is not only the LAB value, the spectral value, or the density value, but we are able to send directly in the last part of our solution, the ink weight station, what really need to add in the ink can to correct the color, because the press operator receive, okay, add 200 grams of red, 1 kilo of extender, and X amount of solvent of water, depend of your ink series, to correct the color. When the press operator correct the color, refill the press, starting again, we measuring again the sample, and we achieve the right quality. Okay, now we can start to see what happened inside to the quality manager office. If I receive the proof from my customer, and when I receive the proof, I can receive the proof, I can receive a drawdown for my color or something like that, and I need to be able to insert all this information inside to the software. The software is really easy to use. We can just start with a new job, just search inside to the customer list, the right customer. I can just type my job name, and now I'm ready with all information for the job. One of the points we need to just select, for example, the web width. And what is really important and unique for our software is technically we're starting to use the software, we're starting to insert the aim, but from the beginning we link the whole information to the assortment. And the assortment is mean the information about our ink. We just link the whole color information to the ink information. Now let's start to insert the color. For sure, we can create the color just measuring the color. We can connect the device. In this case, we're using one exact device. Our software is able to track any information about the device. We have the information about the calibration, information about the net profiler status. Let's start. Okay. When I want to enter in one color, I need first type the name of the color. Let's start with this red. And I need only to start to measuring the color. The software automatically recognizes the status of the calibration, and now they ask to us to do the calibration of the instrument. When we are ready with the calibration of the instrument, we are able to moving forward with our measurement of the job. Okay, let's calibrate the instrument. Okay, now we are ready to take the first measurement. The software is able to collect multiple measurements. We can average what we're measuring. We can insert a new color. For example, if the customer provides to us the proof, we can measure into the proof. Let's measure in the background right now, the gray background. Okay. The other possibility we have inside to the software is just import from previous information or from digital file. Let's start. We want to print this job with the CMYK, and because we have the CMYK on press or in different other job, we can just take this information from a previous job. Let's select, for example, a different customer. Let's select one job, and we can easily import the information about black, the information about cyan, magenta, and yellow. On the same way, we can just connect our ColorTrack software with the all CXF file. We have, for example, the Pantone solid coated, and now we can import our color. In our job, we have three different Pantone. Let's start with the 173. We can search by name and just add. We have the 295. And we have the cool gray. Another important feature for our software is we are able to import the CXF file. And right now we are one of the unique software in the market is able to import the new CXF file 4. Is mean the new ISO standard for the communication of color. Let's open this file and we can talk about that. If you can see here, we have the whole information about color. What is new for the CXF4? We import not only the solid of the color, but we have all information about the tint and all information about the color over black. Using this kind of file, we are able to collect the information about ink, color, and opacity for any kind of ink. Let's open this one. Okay, now let's talk about this job. This job has two particular things. The first thing is the Color Consulting yellow brand color is important for the brand, and we want to track the quality. But this yellow is not really a ink, but is 100% of yellow plus 20% of magenta. Our software has the ability to select this color, and because we don't have an ink, to select our feature measure only. This is mean we measuring and we track the quality of the color without provide any information for the single ink, because we don't have single ink for this color. The other unique feature for ColorTrack is we are able to manage the overprinting. In this case, we need to overprinting the blue on top of the spot gray. if you can imagine, if you do that in Flexo, no way to have a good register if you do with the two different plates, or if you created a white windows to print the right blue. But the request of the customer is, I want the my 295 blue here. I don't care if you print over the gray, if you print over another color. And right now we can just import our target, the 295. The software recognizes we have 1295 ink inside, and we just add this color. Select the 295 over printing, and just in easy way, just pick, okay, this is the overprinting. I want to put the my 295C on top of the my spot gray. And later we can see, when we produce the correction of this color, how our software is able to provide in an easy way the correction also for the overprinting. The last things we can see, for each color we can set up here the different delta E value, and we can set up the all tolerances. Now we close the button and we are ready for the job, and we can just pass the job into the workflow and provide the same information to the ink kitchen and here to the press. Okay, the last thing to do when we have the job is to just insert the area coverage. We need to insert the area coverage for the job for one main reason. We introduce here in Quadtech one new concept, and we patent pending this concept, and we call the virtual scales. Technically, what we do with our ColorTrack, we measuring the ink consumption on the press to just be able to correct the right amount of ink. As you know, it's really hard to understand how many ink you have. Okay, if you're running a flexo press, probably you can guess looking inside to the can of ink. But if you're running a gravure press, it's really hard to detect that. For this reason, we need to have the all information about color. We need to have all information about area coverage. And due to the fact inside we have inside to the software all information regarding to the ink, we have information about dry percentage, we have information about ink film thickness. We are able to collect this information during the print run. Okay. Now we are into the ink kitchen. Into the ink kitchen, the people, they can just open the job, they need to search for the job. And immediately the people inside to the ink kitchen, they can recognize, okay, we have a lot of ink where we have the recipe in the storage, and we have 3 ink where we don't have the recipe in the storage. Normally, one of the big mistakes the people they are doing inside to the ink kitchen is just starting from scratch and build a new color. But this can be a tricky. Why? Because we create a completely different color, we create a completely large amount of batch, especially because we are not able to recognize what we have did, for example, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, or something like that. I can try to put a real example. The Hour Red 002 can be exactly the same of Ferrari Red, exactly the same of Marlboro Red, exactly the same of, I don't know, McDonald's Red. And if the people inside to the ink kitchen is not able to recognize that, what they need to do, they just create 4 different colors, 4 different batch. When we have return from the press, we create a multiple leftover for the same ink. What is really new in our software and what is really smart in our software, when I need to produce the Red 002, I click on the button inside to the ink kitchen, and automatically the software is load the old color I have in my database of recipe, and just underline, okay, for example, the Pantone 485 is at 1.1 distance in terms of delta E. We are able also to see the ink film thickness we're using, is mean what kind of Anilox roller we're using, or what kind of engraving we're using for that. We are able to understand if we're printing the color on the same substrate, and we check also the component we have inside to the product. Right now, for example, because the people they care about their red, we want to leave the target and just replace the recipe. This is one of the feature we have in our software. We leave the target, we just copy the recipe, and what happened? We just have our recipe ready. And the people inside Today in Kitchen, they did to do nothing. Let's do the second one. We have the Pantone 173, same things, try to search in the database, and what is amazing, we found another color with a delta E of 1. What is really amazing, we found one color is made mainly with leftover ink. And in this way, we can just start using the hour leftover, we can just start to reduce the hour leftover storage. Let's use this as it is. Last possibility, for sure, we need to click on the same button, found the information about the color, and what we can do, we can just see inside to the database again, found the color. This time we can choose, for example, to use our Pantone 4-2C as it is, replace the recipe, but use also the target for the Pantone color. Let's do that. And now we are ready with all our information. For sure, if we need to starting from scratch to build the recipe, we can just moving inside Today in Kitchen using the Hour in Weight software, the Hour in Weight scales, as in Today in Kitchen, just to start to build a new recipe. And for example, if I want to start to check a recipe, I can easily search all my color. For example, we told we need to do the 173 or we need to do the one Pantone color, and we are able to just send and use our tools with a small scale inside to the laboratory to produce the recipe with all our basic ink. Okay, now we moving near to the press. Near to the press operator, they need only to open the job, select the customer, search for the right job, and open the job. This is something we care when we build our software, because we want to have the less operation as possible, less click as possible near to the press. Okay, when the software is upload the job, the press operator is need to start the software, validate and start the job, and the same time start the press. Let's do in the case of the press side, we need to stop the press, take example from the press, and just start measurement. Obviously, if we're using the Hour Advanced inline solution with a spectral cam or delta cam, we can receive the information directly from the press, directly from our spectrophotometer, without stop the press and without take the sample. Let's measuring the sample. This is what practically happened. When I'm starting to measuring, the press operator, they need only to take the instrument and just start measurement. Automatically, our software is just start to show the information about the color. We need only to measuring a different color. Automatically, the software detect the difference in terms of color. Let's measure, for example, also the hour CMYK. Obviously, we can measuring into the job, we can measuring on the simple color bar where we have the only solid, or we can measuring on the full color bar. Let's measuring the hour CMYK. Okay, when we finish to measuring near to the press, immediately we see inside to the screen the unit where we need to put attention. We have two kind of exclamation mark to kind of alert. One is yellow, and yellow is mean you are near to the tolerances, and one is red, is mean you are out of tolerances. If we look the first one where we are near to the tolerance, we can introduce the new feature and unique feature we have is a best match functionality. In the best match functionality, we have technically we advise the customer when they can, in this case, upgrade or create the more concentration inside to the ink, just to achieve the right color. In the other one, when we have red, we have nothing to do. The software is exactly tell, don't waste time on press, don't waste time to do any tricky on your ink, just go to correct the color. Okay, now the press operator is need only to click on the correct color. We have all information about the ink we have in the press. We need to confirm the target viscosity, and when we click on acquire correction, we pop up automatically the ink formulation. Okay, inside to the ink formulation, we build automatically the job folder. We can just click on the job folder, select the color I want to correct, and just select. The press operator, they don't need to know nothing about the ink formulation, because we fill automatically all measurement inside. We fill automatically the ink quantity, we fill the ink film thickness, it can be anilox or can be engraving for the gravure, and we have the whole viscosity setting done. At this point, the press operator, they need only to remember to click correct the color, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, and we arrive with the right correction. Right now we have our correction. We need to add some red and some extender inside to the color. At this point, we can send the information directly on the back side of the press, for example for the flexo press, where we have our ink weight station, and we continue to wait the hour color. Let's send a correction to the ink weight station. Okay. Now in the back side of the press, we receive inside to the ink weight software the hour correction. They pop up the number. Okay, we receive a new correction, and now the press operator is coming. It can just click on the correction and start to correct the color.
Now I have to click on the correction button and click select my recipe and go forward. Of course, the quantity is set it from the ink formulation software, so I have to go forward. I have to confirm the tear of the empty can, and then I can start weighting the varnish. As you can see, I can easily see when I'm inside of the tolerances or outside of the tolerances with the green bars. When I've finished to weight the varnish, I can confirm the weight and go to the next component. Now I take the red and start to weight the red. When I've finished, I have to confirm the weight again and start dosing the solvent. Now I've finished, so I have to save the weight, and I can print my labels to put on the can.
Now when the press operator is just refill the press, we need to start the press again and just start the run. When we start the run, we need to stop the press, take the next sample, we confirm we have added the ink on the press, and we need only to measure it. When we take the example from the press and we're measuring, click OK, and now we're moving from one color. It was out of tolerances by 4 and something, and we arrive to 0.36. I think this is the result normally we expect for our system, because we do a database evaluation and the ink film thickness test before and during the installation of the system. And for this reason, we guarantee that every time we correct the ink, we cut at least for the 50% of the delta E. For the first time, we have really an easy solution with few hours of training. We can just run into the software. Your press operator, they can easily correct the color without lot of color expertise. What we try to do, we try to insert the color expertise inside to the software, and your press operator can achieve a fast make ready, best quality during the print run, and for the businessman, normally you have a really good ROI for this software.